Yeah.
Do that with my kids. Time for Broussard's Under Duress list. Thanks, Wilds. That was great. All right, Broussard, we have brought in reinforcements to make sure this list sticks. Coach Mangini joining us, the reinforcer, as we call him. Nobody calls him that. Maybe his kids do. A lot of names could be under duress today. His kids are like, reinforcer, yes, son. 2 former #1 overall pick quarterbacks. The youngest head coaching matchup in Super Bowl history. Stars galore on both sides of the ball. You have a plethora of options to choose from. So, Broussard, which 5 guys are you putting under duress in Super Bowl 56?
Agenda number 1 is that young quarterback, Joe Burrow. And I get the sentiment that, Burrow's playing with house money. He's in his 2nd year. True. But we act like there's a guarantee he's getting back here. All right, everybody thought Aaron Rodgers would be back to the Super Bowl 11 years ago when he won his first. He's never been back. Everybody thought Dan Marino, who got there in his 2nd year and put up incredible numbers, would get back. He never got back. So there is no guarantee that as great as Joe Burrow looks to be, that he will ever play in another Super Bowl. So he's got to capitalize on this. Not to mention everybody's comparing him to Tom Brady. So you know you got to win when you're compared to Tom Brady. So he's under duress. All right, at number 4, Aaron Donald. And I know he's a Hall of Famer, all-time great, whether he wins a Super Bowl or not. Okay, but when you look at so many, not all, but so many of the ultra-elite defenders, Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Mean Joe Green, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Deion Sanders, Ronnie Lott, they all have jewelry. There are some that don't, Bruce Smith and some others, but many of them have jewelry to solidify their legacies. And Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, has said everybody in this building wants to win it for that guy, Aaron Donald. Plus you're facing a leaky offensive line, so he's under duress. At number 3, Sean McVay, the boy wonder, the young genius, and he is that whether he wins or loses, but you're facing one of your former assistants, one of your proteges, even though Zach Taylor's a little older than him. And your protege doesn't have as good of a defense, doesn't have as experienced a quarterback, doesn't have as good of a receiving core, it's close. All right, doesn't have as many superstars as you, isn't playing in his home building, and you are. So you got all those advantages, Sean McVay. You gotta beat your former assistant. He's under duress. At number 2, and this is, I know coach is gonna jump on me for this, but in the Super Bowl, it's in the bylaws of the Bud list. When it comes to the Super Bowl, because the pool of candidates is so much smaller, you can put units in. So I got the Bengals offensive line. Super Bowl, we all gave up 9 sacks against Tennessee. You gotta protect Joe Cool. If you protect him and give him some time, and I'm saying 4 sacks or less, okay? 4 sacks or less, then you have a pretty good chance of winning this game and proving Kevin Wilds to be a prophet. So the O-line's got to get it done for Cincinnati. And at number 1, we all know Matthew Stafford. He has the opportunity to change the narrative of his entire career. Okay, he'll no longer be a disappointment. He'll no longer be Stat Padford, as they used to call him in Detroit. He'll no longer be borderline bust for a number 1 pick. He will actually begin to get some love as a potential Hall of Famer. He will be a winner. He will justify the trade for him and all the way the Rams mortgage their future. So Matthew Stafford, with all the advantages I mentioned for Sean McVay, great receivers, superstars, great defense, great O-line, he has got to get it done. There's no excuse, Coach, for Stafford not to win this Super Bowl.
Well, Chris, it's another excellent Bud list, and I know that you like to change the rules all the time, but I'm going to go back to an individual, and someone you've absolutely missed is Eli Apple. Eli Apple is under incredible duress, and here's the reason why. Against Kansas City, he was the most heavily targeted guy. He gave up 6 receptions, including a penalty. He could have been penalized again deep in the end zone, but they didn't call it. So that's one thing. Throughout the course of his career, he's a former high first-round draft pick. Can't make it at the Giants, traded to New Orleans, can't make it in New Orleans, 1-year contract with Carolina, 1-year contract with Cincinnati, and he's had issues everywhere he's went, and now he's talking. and he's saying that he's embracing being the villain and how he loves crushing cities and opposing wide receivers' hopes and dreams. The type of plays he needs to make are the type of plays we saw against Kansas City. I don't know if we have that available, but those are the types of plays that he needs to make. Look, Tyreek Hill, it's like he's Topsy with the microchip in it, and then he came over and found it. This is what they need to do. He needs to Topsy the opposing wide receivers, and if he does that, he can totally and absolutely change a narrative that's been worse than probably anybody else who's playing in the Super Bowl.
I mean, that was just magnificent. And speaking of being microchipped and lost, Coach, if you continue to make better jokes than I do on the show, you might find yourself lost and wandering the wilderness of outer England. So let's just all say, I don't do the tape breakdams.
Thanks for the warning.
Lay off the weird and wonderful Topsy.
I'm just playing off of it.
All right. Okay, I am going to put on my guy, Jalen Ramsey. What, Wilds? You like Jalen Ramsey. What are you doing? Here's why he's under duress. There has been murmurs of, is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in the league? And then that has sort of overshadowed the other greatest in the league conversation. Is Jamar Chase the best wide receiver in the league? He might be if he gets over on Jalen Ramsey. So far in these playoffs, Jamar has gone 6 for 54 against the Chiefs. He went 5 for 109 against the Titans. He went 9 for 116 against the Raiders. And I know everyone's like, Jan, you got to totally avoid him. Just take that side of the field and eliminate it from your vision, Joe Burrow. Not necessarily. Mike Evans still did damage. DK Metcalf did damage. Debo had a lot of yak, but he still did some damage. So for that reason, Jalen Ramsey also talks, but he can back it up. But I'm putting him on the bud list. It's a light bud list, but he's got to be on there because I think Jamar Chase is no longer afraid of him.
All right, I rarely say this, but exemplary jobs by the entire left side of the screen. I think Broussard's initial list was great. I think Coach zeroing in on Eli Apple, even though, we had to show that Mahomes play, just ruined my life. And I think Wilds' point's well taken because I think the best singular matchup in this game is Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey if they get matched up. But Wilds, before I reveal mine, may I ask you a very quick question, you know the answer. What am I dripping in? Tell America.
Oh, objectivity. There's a puddle of objectivity underneath your chair.
A puddle of it.
I thought it was.
And I will, if I needed to prove it to you, I would prove it to you here. All year long, there is someone Broussard put on the bud list, much to my chagrin because it was outrageous. This week he belongs on. It is Patrick Mahomes, and here is why.
Wow.
Because if this game goes the way I believe it will go, the Rams roll the Bengals. It will make what happened 12 days ago look even worse in comparison. If Matt Stafford has his way with this mediocre Bengals secondary and Cooper Kupp is running open and OBJ is tick-tocking in the end zone and the Rams just roll, then it's like, wait, the hell happened to you, Mahomes? We were supposed to have Rams-Chiefs in this game. Conversely, Brew, if I'm wrong and the Bengals win, it's still not good for my guy because then Joe Burrow's trying to elbow him off the corner. Joe Burrow's like, I beat you twice and now I'm the Super Bowl champion. So no matter what, my guy, Patrick Mahomes, is under massive duress. There is no good outcome. It's like a Jackson Mahomes TikTok video. It ends terribly no matter what. So I am very upset. I hate to do that, but Broussard, because I am the show's conscience, I am dripping in objectivity, I have to put him on.
All right, I'm going to get to that interesting take in a moment, Nick, from you. Look, Coach and Wilds, great jobs. Obviously, throwing those defensive backs on there is good because they're facing great receivers. So I'll give you that. Those are great calls on Apple and Ramsey. Now, Nick, look, I'm going to give you a little credit. When you said what are you dripping in, I first thought Drakkar Noir. I think you probably wear that type of cologne. But you have these last 2 days.
Even I know
I wore
it's
that
your
in high
car.
school. Nick's probably wearing that now.
Yeah.
But these
That's why
last
I
2
know it.
days, you have been incredibly objective. I'd say even too objective. You're kind of knocking your guy, Patrick Mahomes, off his pedestal. So I think maybe you're embracing tough love. Maybe you're saying to
Nick.
Patrick, a summer of hard work, Patrick. That's what we need to get back to the pinnacle. So maybe that's it. But I'm surprised, man, the way you're going at your boy Mahomes. But I do like the objectivity.
Listen, I don't play favorites. Now, if Mahomes were a clutch client, maybe it'd change.
Then maybe.
That's it, trying to get him to
Big day today, guys. Big day in the NBA trade deadline this afternoon. We got to talk some James Harden. Could he really sabotage the Nets season if he's not traded today? Asked and answered next. First things first on our Thursday.